Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some more Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord. Today we are diving in with a brand new mod that has recently made its way onto ModDB with a whole wealth of new pictures, videos and battles. This is of course Anno Domini, and I am very much looking forward to showing this off and looking forward to the mod releasing in its first early stages later on in May. So the actual first release of this mod isn't that far away, and that's definitely something to look forward to. So this is going to be a unit mod, much like stuff like Bannerlord Expanded Armory and Open Source Armory. This is going to be a massive item mod that will hopefully go ahead and change up every single culture, and that is something that's different with this mod that it's doing compared to something like Open Source Armory. They are also planning on adding an additional mod alongside this one where it's going to reskin the campaign, so all the factions will have completely different uniforms and armors. And as you can see from the gameplay, which the developers were kind enough to let me show off, the mod itself looks absolutely glorious. I think right now you have one of the Viking forces going up against the Saxons, I believe, on your screen. You guys can obviously see that in a siege setting as the soldiers do move forward. Obviously the gameplay you're watching as well is still very much a work in progress. I believe that a lot of these spears won't have all these banners on them like you're seeing. Like every single spear right now has a banner. Again, you know, when the mod does release, stuff like that will all be kind of cleaned up, but you can get a nice real glimpse of all the armors. The capes look awesome, and the shields, man. I'm a big fan of custom shields. I think it goes a long way at really diversifying the mod. There you go, there's Tim, the tier 4 cav, making his way up the ladder and pushing in. So this mod is actually pretty interesting because not only, obviously, as I said, it's going to be an item mod, it's also going to be a campaign reskin. And with the first release later on in May, they do plan on making it, I believe the Sturgeons are going to be completely replaced. Their roster's going to be redone with all the new assets and units. And they're also planning on changing up the Valandians as well. So both them factions in the first release will have completely custom armor and new unit trees, and all the lords will be changed and all that glorious stuff. There's not going to be any custom map or anything along them lines with this mod. However, Lemmy's Europe mod is absolutely perfect for something like this. So if a modder wants to go ahead and take that, you know, to the next level, they can quite easily, hopefully, with the permission, obviously, of the dev team, make a sub-mod for Lemmy's Europe mod. Actually, I think, honestly, it might just work port over, thinking about it. But then again, Lemmy has also added in custom factions, so I'm not sure exactly how that would work. But yeah, that is something that we could hopefully see later on down the line, as that would be very exciting to get a, you know, completely custom setup with that. Developers have also mentioned as well that they actually already have 3D assets for the other cultures. So that's the Azurai, the Kuzites, and the Free Empire factions, and of course the Britannians also. I'm not 100% sure exactly kind of what culture they're going to fall into, but you can probably make a good guess and assume that the assets are going to look, you know, just basically as good as the ones you're seeing right now. And that actually brings me on to my next point as well, because it's quite interesting the way the developers are going about this, as these are some of the same developers who are actually making and have made the Total War Attila Ages Charlemagne DLC, Anno Domini, and I think they also have a bunch of other mods set at different time periods. I think there's also a Total War Thrones of Britannia mod that also are made by the similar group of people. I'm not exactly sure if they're kind of crossover or if it's people who've got permission to do this, but basically what they're doing is they're porting the really high quality assets from their mods on Total War over to Bannerlord. Now, I'm under the impression that that's not really a super quick and efficient task. It's not just like a Control-C, Control-V, and then you're sorted. Apparently, there is a lot of work that goes into that. I mean, not surprisingly, you do actually have to like rescale them a lot of the time. I think the Total War assets are much smaller and, of course, don't fit the bodies of the Bannerlord. And doing that for, you know, 100, 200, 300 assets is obviously quite time consuming, and you know, that's, you know, to make sense. But it's actually a really exciting thing that they're utilizing the, you know, a very similar game in Total War with regards to the assets and bringing them over into this game of Bannerlord, because I think that opens up a really exciting path. And if they can get good at this, I mean, who's to say what else they can't do? I mean, a mod that I would adore to see kind of imported into this game and assets being used is the old Game of Thrones mod for Total War Attila. That mod was absolutely spectacular. The amount of like kind of work that modder put into all them beautiful 3D models, and now they're just not really being utilized, is such a shame and such a travesty. And I believe that the Trials of the 17 did actually attempt to bring some of them mods in, but there were some issues and people didn't want to go through the effort of doing it or something along them lines. But, you know, I think if this project is a big success, which it's looking really good, you know, we're seeing kind of the gloriousness of it, I see no reason why, you know, as long as they get permission, that they can't go back and kind of, you know, mix assets with that. Like something like that in Realm of Thrones would be incredible if it was at all possible. But of course, more about Anno Domini, which is obviously what we're looking at right now. The mod also is planning on a day one kind of compatibility with realistic battle mod as well. And again, that's great to see that the modders are going through the effort of actually making that a possibility. As of course, I think pretty much everybody who plays modded Bannerlord, you know, plays with realistic battle mod, and you know, would love to utilize pretty much all of their features. So the fact that they've got that in mind, it is a very positive sign. I know some people just refuse to even play refuse to even play Bannerlord if it is not using realistic battle mod, and I kind of fall into that. So yeah, it's great to see that they are doing that. And then that also opens up another thing as well. Like, I think if you kind of combine this mod with a few of the other ones, like open source armory and expanded Bannerlord armory as well, you can do some crazy stuff, mixing Lemmy's Europe mod right there. And yeah, the amount of like open source material, obviously this isn't open source, but the other stuff you can combine this with is going to be absolutely incredible. And I think the developers are doing a very, very good job with this. And yeah, this is a new frontier, people porting in assets from a Total War mod into this game. Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see exactly what they can come up with. And of course, I will leave a link down below in the description so you can check out not only the videos that you've been watching for more content. One of the devs has a ton more battles if you want to see them on for yourself, and go check out his channel. Again, leave a link to his YouTube down below in the description. And of course, I will leave their Discord down below. That's going to be the best way to stay up to date with the actual project itself. And then finally, I'll also leave their mod DB page as well. That's going to be where you can download the mod when it releases, hopefully in sometime in May, which of course isn't actually that far away. So be sure to let me know what you think of this mod. Is this a mod to look forward to? Again, it's not a mod that's going to be released in a year or 2 years. This is a mod that is just round the corner, and its first iteration with the Sturgeons and the Valandians hopefully will provide with some pretty exciting content, and also something to look forward to and kind of get a taste of what the mod is going to provide. As always, make sure to drop a like and a comment down below. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys in the next one.